your vantage point, or what exactly happened with that?
I didn't see anything. We just had a normal shoot around, and he was in his usual game day routine with Q, and he just rolled his ankle somehow. Kind of a fluke thing. So kind of caught us off guard, but obviously he won't play. And I had told Clay yesterday that he'd have the day off. He needs one. He's playing every game. He takes on an enormous responsibility. Night after night, Chelsea came to me about 3 or 4 days ago and said, if you can find a day for Clay, let's do it. And it just felt like the right day going into this road trip. So, once Steph got hurt, like, what am I going to call Clay and say, I changed my mind? Obviously, if this were a different situation, we might consider that. But we're giving Clay a day off for a reason. He needs it. And so I didn't feel comfortable at all changing my mind and calling him and saying, hey, can you play after all? So we'll have to make do. It'll make it for a much more difficult challenge for sure. But we got a lot of guys who can play, and we got plenty of guys who want the minutes, so we'll do our best.
How serious is Steph's injury, and how long do you anticipate he'll be out?
I don't think it's serious. There's not even an MRI or an X-ray scheduled. It's just tweaked it, and Chelsea looked at it and tested it out, and it was sore, and so we're not going to take any chances.
Did Clay ask to play after he learned about stuff? But I guess is there a psychology to saying if a player thinks it's a rest day, should he not be in that back?
I'm pretty sure Clay still hasn't heard that Steph is out. Probably went home and throwing the tennis ball to Rocco and listening to some music coming on into the game. And but yeah, there's a psychological aspect to a day off. It's not just resting your legs; it's resting your mind. It's getting away for the day, knowing, waking up, knowing you're not going to play. It's a big deal. And so, as I said, I mean, if this were a crucial situation, we wouldn't have given him a day off in the first place. This is a planned rest, given what we're going through all season and the way we're approaching the season. Other guys have had rest. He hasn't. Just so happened that the fluke injury happens to Steph, and now we got to fill in.
Steve, do you expect to have Durant on a minutes restriction?
Yes. Main thing is, what Chelsea told me was she didn't want him coming in and out of the game a lot. She wanted him to have a good solid run and then come out and then get a rest and get a chance to know when he's going back in. So we've got a pattern planned. I'm not going to share it with you, but I'll just say he's not going to be going in and out of the game randomly.
We'll start first,
Usually I know, and if I'm not going to tell you, I just say I'm not going to tell you. I legitimately don't know right now. I'm debating. It'll be either Sean or Patrick.
Hey Steve, so Kevin's nearing the 20,000 point scoring mark. Both coaching him and then from afar before you started coaching him, what have you noticed about the process that he's gone through and always having a diverse skill set in his game and adjusting how defenses cover him and all those things?
Well, I mean, he can do anything he wants. He's one of those rare guys who has an answer for everything. He can go right around bigger guys. He can post up smaller guys. He can dribble into a three. He can shoot a spot up three. He can come off a pick. I mean, he can do anything against anybody. And so, coaching against him, that was the fear. You didn't really know what to do with him. And coaching him, that's the joy. You just plug him in. And I think the beauty of what Kevin has done for us here is that he understands that he doesn't have to be the man. That this has kind of been Steph's team for many years, but there are times when he does need to be the man, like in the finals last year, or when Steph goes out with an injury. And Kevin has this incredible, humble way about him, where he could demand the ball and demand a bigger responsibility, but he doesn't necessarily need that. He wants to be part of it, and he accepts that responsibility when we need him. He averages whatever he does, 25, 26 points a game, and Finals MVP and all this, and but when he needs to step back, he just steps back. So he's an amazing player, both in terms of skill and humility.
Steve, you must have sprained a lot of ankles, I don't know, jumping off the bench or something like that.
Yeah,
but knowing how, sorry.
Raymond just came on. Whatever, Raymond. By the way, Brett Winkler did such a good job. You know. Raymond was out. I don't know if any of you know this. It's probably my favorite game in terms of just the fluidity of the pre and post media. Anyway, what were you saying?
Knowing how vital the ankle is, I mean, especially with Steph's style of play, with all the cutting and moving and all that stuff. Does that worry you extra because of the kind of the way he plays?
Not really. I don't know how you would play basketball without doing all that stuff. I mean, that's just the nature of the game. And, so it's unfortunate, and hopefully it'll clear up in a few days.
When you say you don't legitimately know who's going to start for Steph, do you legitimately know who's going to start for Clay?
Yes, I do. I do.
And?
I'm not going to tell you. But no, what we're doing is we're in there right now going through the patterns. I think I've explained this to you before, like, you know, who I start the game with affects, you know, who's on the floor at the end of the first quarter, and the combinations tonight are really important because we were without, you know, our backcourt, and we always stagger those guys anyway. So we've got to find the right combinations, get enough scoring out there, enough playmaking, and hopefully not have redundancy with some of our lineups. And so we got to try to find the right combos. So we're going to continue to hash that out before we make a decision.
Coach, I'm working on a stuff about international exhibition game. I was wondering if you can give us a little story about the China game in 2007. What was the atmosphere like over there, and what was your best memory of the fans there?
Well, we had a great trip. We were there for a week and played 2 games, and both games were a lot of fun. Maybe the best memory is the day before the first game, playing Shenzhen, sold out arena for our practice. That told us how much the Chinese fans loved the NBA and loved the game, and to see the excitement on the fans' faces and feel the energy in the building when we're 6,000 miles from home or whatever it is, that was amazing.
If I'm counting right, I think you've got 3 healthy guards, and 2 of them are going to start. And you like to play 4 or 5. So looking at Iguodala, can you look at him as a guard?
Yeah.
Can you look at Caspi as a guard?
Caspi's a guard tonight.
Durant even, maybe?
Durant's a guard. Yeah, I mean, the chances of playing small tonight are kind of slim. We have to have all of our small guys on the floor at once, but so maybe we'll play a little bit bigger. Maybe we'll play Jordan Bell or Looney in the 4. But that will be determined by the game itself. But I'm not worried about kind of the imbalance in terms of guards and bigs because we've got a lot of versatility. So, like you said, Andre, I mean, Draymond can play point forward for us for stretches of the game. He's our leading assist guy anyway, so he's used to handling the ball. We'll find the right combinations.
So a different topic here, Steve, but Kerr, you mentioned that you have a supplemental sports fan. Big news yesterday, of course, was John Gruden and a 10-year contract. You ever see yourself in a position where you might be coaching for another 10 years when the time comes for you?
Yeah, I'd love to. I love what I do. I don't see anybody giving me a 10-year contract. But I'm planning on coaching for a long time. I love what I do.
I forgot what I was going to say now. No, when you look at the course of this season, you guys have had no major injury in terms of a guy that's going to miss half the season or anything, but a lot of injuries here and there. How do you account for the team's resilience through all these injuries, especially when you look at the fact that all your all-stars, except for Clay, have missed multiple games?
Honestly, depth and talent. I mean, we've got a lot of guys who can play. Even, you know, from one night to the next, trying to pick who I'm going to have inactive if we're all healthy. That's a difficult choice because every guy can play. And then we have 4 all-stars. You know, we're missing our backcourt, best backcourt in the league tonight. You still have 2 All-Stars. It's an embarrassment of riches. It is, and I'm not going to shy away from that. That's a great thing, and on top of that, the versatility of our roster allows us to play different styles. And I think maybe one of the things I've been most proud of since I've been coach is that we were able to go 9-2 without Steph, playing a different style, you know, and really locking down defensively and taking better care of the ball, and our guys recognized what needed to be done. And so I think there's just a combination of factors, but it's mainly we got a lot of really good players.
Did this news come too late to bring quick cook up?
Yes, I called. He's in Toronto. So it was a tough First thing I did when I heard about Steph was I called Kent Lakin. He was in Toronto. The G League showcase is going on, so it's a long flight.
Was there even any luck of like, oh, we get it direct or we get it?
No, didn't even think about it.
Great, thank you.
Thank you.
Appreciate that.